new wave of consumer is uniquely becoming the most powerful economic force in retail, and it's causing retailers to refine their plans and how to meet the needs of the new generation. It's an economic force, it's a shift, and nobody knows exactly how to build community on the deepest level with them. Everybody's asking that question. Every retailer asks that question. That's a boardroom agenda of every retailer in America. How do I retain them? How do I hold them? How do I build an authentic relationship with them?
For us, the reason that the new general market is an important way to think about the marketplace is because there's a shift that's happened, as we all can see. And as that shift has happened, traditionally, what happens when shifts happens is that somebody gets left behind and somebody gets focused on. And our concern is that nobody get left behind here. As this shift is happening, everybody should be coming along, right? It's not a, now let's all go focus on the Hispanic population that's growing, let's go focus on the millennials, let's go focus on this, and that's what got us here in the first place, right? Because it's a way to think about it, it's a way to frame about it. What it ends up being is a segmentation strategy that oftentimes leads to segregation. Everybody needs to come along here. We need to understand everybody's needs, and we need to think about everybody's needs in a holistic way and deliver it, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to live better.
Today's consumer, this new general consumer, I think Rich has put it best with a word. It's a psychographic. It's not just a demographic. And I think if 40 is a new 20 and 20 is a new 30 and 15 is a new 25, you know, the idea of segmenting, I think, is a little antiquated. Mm-hmm. I think everything communicates, everything, and everything is designed. Whether it's designed thoughtfully or not is a different story, right? You could argue that this serves a utility, but is this really well designed? It's kind of big and clumsy and heavy, right? Everything's designed. We tell our own story through our things. And I think as stewards of brands and business leaders, our job, our responsibility is to create things that are better and more beautiful, that let people tell their story.
Being a company that comes from a country where it's perceived as a homogeneous society, but really there's so many different clusters and ways of thinking, it's that psychographic. So I feel like when you come from a company that's ingrained in that society, I think what Cow's philosophy has been is Cow has always felt that beauty is not a privilege, it's a right for every woman. If we were to follow down multicultural and Hispanic and African American, we would leave behind 27 of the US population that's a blonde consumer who's highly passionate about their lighter, brighter blonde hair color, who has an amazing emotional connection to the products that she's used. An influencer, so we use Lauren Conrad, who's a celebrity influencer, who isn't not only just a quintessential blonde, but someone that was more authentic. She styles her own hair, she has her own business, she's looked up to by that younger consumer, and so we're able to now see that over the past 2 years of working and bringing in an influencer that can really connect with the blonde, that we've seen success in bringing in that younger user.
We really want to understand our consumers, and we want to appeal to our consumers, but you can't do that in terms of what we want to do. We want to do it in terms of where they're at. It's, in other words, you have to go and meet them where they're at and bring them along. And that's a two-way dialogue. That's not a one-way dialogue.
Yeah.
So that's one area where we have this Let It Grow tour, which now has become Face the Day tour. We've been that for 8 years. We take a 40-foot mobile barbershop around the country. And it's not just to interact with people, it's to understand people. And we have on-staff barbers that are there that are interacting with people and come back and talk about these things, about what people are dealing with in life and what's important to them.
We kind of grew up in a world, the BCG three-dimensional cube, right, on segmentation. And I think what Rich is challenging us is to think about that differently. Rather than product attributes, segmentation, demographics, it's really what we try to focus in on is what job is the consumer trying to get done, right? So rather than a makeup brush that doesn't shed, or how it fits in your hand or the quality. Rather than that, it's on the job you're trying to get done. For us, it's beauty. And we like to say in the office that beauty starts with a brush. We have some terrific spokespeople in Sam and Nick Chapman, and with followers on Instagram, YouTube, 2.5 million followers on YouTube, and they're authentic. They're authentic because we give them the permission to talk about competitive makeup brushes.
So when I thought about it and I had to explain it in non-business terms, I wrote down these words. It's inclusive of everyone and not exclusive to anyone. And that's what it means to me, is because we don't look at it as segmentation. That's where we found our bond together, that we look at all of us have an opportunity to serve our customers better, our consumers better, our people better. Whatever terminology that you use, we have the opportunity to not exclude anyone, but to include everyone.